Hi there, how's everybody doing today? My name is Griffin Brown, thanks for having me. Let's just start off with a question, just right off the bat. Who here believes in something mythical? Or believes in something that people call mythical, like let's say dragons, let's say Loch Ness, let's say magic, something like that. Does anybody believe in that? Anybody? Looks like maybe a quarter of you guys. Well, I believe in something called Bigfoot. It's this big burly guy, walks around the Pacific Northwest, looks like a big ape. Any of you guys believe in him? More? Yeah. Last fall when we began the TED Talk exercise, I began to talk to you about why I believe Bigfoot exists in today's real world. Now, I'm going to continue that by providing further evidence to hopefully convince you that any hesitation towards believing that Bigfoot is a real entity is completely unfounded and false. Now for a quick background. Bigfoot can be known as many different things, such as a Sasquatch, the missing link. In some native cultures, it's known as a Tissimiqui, or a Skookum, or a Stiaha. Presides mainly in the Pacific Northwest, all the way up to Alaska, but mainly in places like Oregon and Washington. It's been described as a hairy man, up to 9 feet tall, but typically between the 6 and 9 feet range. It's really big, muscular, not like me at all. Bipedal, which means it just walks on 2 legs like most people. It's ape-like, been described as a big chimpanzee or a big gorilla, but more humanoid. It's got dark brown, black, or reddish fur, and it's at least 800 pounds. To put that into perspective, some of the biggest strongmen in the world weigh upwards of 400 pounds, so that's about double that. It's pretty impressive. Interesting fact about Bigfoot, big feet, Bigfoots. Interesting fact about Sasquatches, they do actually have pretty large feet. Researchers have found, and through footprints and other measurements, that a Bigfoot's foot is roughly 2 feet long. That's a big foot. Now, there are people in the world that believe in Bigfoot. It's not just me. There are whole organizations with paid employees that are dedicated to researching Bigfoot or Sasquatch, including the BFRO, the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, and just in that incorporation, they have had over 3,000 sightings alone. Including this, there are subspecies of Bigfoot, like the Yeti and the abominable snowman, that live in both warmer and colder climates than the Pacific Northwest. Now, there are skeptics out there. They say that there's people that fake these sightings, that fake the pictures. And of course, yes, there probably are, but that's not the point. Bigfoot is known all over the world. Thousands of people supporting the idea without actually them physically seeing a Bigfoot. I haven't ever seen a Bigfoot, but I believe that it's out there. I believe that it's a thing. And that leads into the second part of our conversation. People believe in things that they've never seen. What is religion without that? That there are hundreds of thousands of people across the United States and across the world that believe in Bigfoot, that believe that there is a missing link out there that we haven't seen. And that leads into the second part of this presentation, which drifts away from the Bigfoot part and goes into belief and the fact that we need to respect other people's beliefs. There are wars fought. People disagree day after day. They say that my God's the true God, and if you don't believe it, then you don't deserve to live on this earth. There are hundreds, probably thousands of different religions that we see in our world today, and I think it's very important that we respect all of them. Even if you don't believe the same thing as your neighbor, or you don't believe the same thing as your brother or mother, it's important to respect that, because that's what people put their faith in. And even something as simple as, or as seemingly dorky as believing in Bigfoot, that's something that people put their faith in. And disrespecting it by saying, your God isn't real, or Bigfoot isn't real, it mutilates what people stand for. It mutilates their beliefs, and I feel like it's devastating to see that happen in different worlds. I mean, people are fighting in wars because they believe that their God is the true God, that there's no room for other people to believe in different things, and that's wrong. Stop smiling. Alright, now earlier I asked you guys if you guys believe in anything mythical, or this people call mythical, like Loch Ness or dragons or something like that. Now I'm going to ask you if you believe in anything. If you put your faith in God and religion and something like that, if you put faith in your parents and how your children or your parents or your family act, if you trust someone to do something else, that's faith. So raise your hand if you believe in something like that. I know I do. Faith is what keeps us together. Religions, there's groups founded on that. Belief in people, it's founded on that. In politics, people believe in a president, and that's how they get put into office. The world revolves around people's faith. All around the world, people are trying to prove that their way of thinking is the only way to go about life. It's seen every day in religion, in politics, even in the question of whether Bigfoot exists. Everyone is constantly fighting each other to prove their point of view or to deem someone else's point of view wrong. It highlights the egocentrism of people in today's world and accentuates the greed as well. This is brought about in something as seemingly irrelevant as a belief in Bigfoot. Instead of respecting the fact that some people choose to believe in Bigfoot, people take advantage of it. They try to use it to their own advantage or desperately try to show the world that Bigfoot doesn't exist. My qualm with these actions is that they disrespect someone's faith. It may seem like an irrelevant subject to some, but there are some people that dedicate their lives to studying this missing link. And if the FBI opened up a case to try and prove my life's work wrong, it would destroy me. And that's just pertaining to Bigfoot. There are much bigger conflicts and disagreements caused by self-righteous people. I mean, there are wars being fought today because people can't respect that others believe in a different God. I don't understand why religion is so often a pathway that leads to violence and hatred. There are so many religions in the world that attempt to coach people to do the honorable thing, and many churches promote very beneficial and good things, like charities or other donations. So why can't we, as a world of unique people, believe that no God would eternally damn someone based on which iteration of a God they believe in? Why can't we, as a people, trust that if there is a God, that they would judge people based on their actions and not on their beliefs? Why can't we, as a people, respect everyone's faith and religion, in mysterious creatures, or in anything? Almost all of the time, nothing is gained from telling someone that they shouldn't believe something that brings them joy, or something that makes them a better person. So let's all trust that if someone has a different faith than our own, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are wrong. It also doesn't necessarily mean that you are right. Everyone has faith, and it's everyone's right to place that faith where they choose. Thank you for having me, Boise. Have a wonderful day. I see it! John, you get a picture, I'll shoot him. It's acting 101. It's a subset of this TED Talk.